Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really excited because I have the wonderful international best-selling author, Nancy Matthews, with me today. And we're going to be talking about the one philosophy, but not just the one philosophy. We're actually going to be talking about Nancy Matthews' third edition of the one philosophy. So let me tell you a little bit about Nancy. She is an international speaker, best-selling author, and global leader. And Nancy Matthews has been sharing the one philosophy since 2010. Thousands of lives have been transformed through her teachings, as well as the certified speakers and trainers who all hold the vision of a world where everyone treats each other as the one. The third edition, coming up, builds upon the framework and foundational 6 principles to further equip us in living the way of the one and uniting humanity in the process. And boy, Nancy, does the world need the one philosophy now. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Tammy. I am honored and grateful to be in conversation around this today.
Great. Well, let's just talk a little bit about the One Philosophy third edition. Tell me about a few things maybe that you've learned since 2010 that maybe you didn't expect to happen when you first published it.
Boy, have I learned so much. Every day I'm learning and growing. And the reason for the third edition is because as I've grown, as I've worked with people and seen what is it that gets in the way of people wanting to be the one. So maybe we need to do a little foundation of what the one philosophy is, right? So that just came to mind. So the one philosophy is about treating each and every person you meet as the one. So bear with me a moment. And as you're listening in today, I want you to just consider when you think someone is the one, your next best client, your spouse, a great business partner, the one that's going to give you a hookup to tickets to a great show or something. When you think you're in the presence of the one, we tend, myself included, would treat that person with more attention, respect. We place more value on them because we think they're the one, more so than we do everyday people we meet at events, in business, in supermarkets, and restaurants. So the one philosophy is about treating each and every person you meet with that same level of excitement and enthusiasm, because we're here for human connection, real human connection. And I'll dovetail now to answer your question on why this third edition updated and enhanced. It's because I've been speaking and teaching on this since 2010. And as soon as I speak these words, the people that hear it say, yes, that's how I want to be. I try to live my life that way. And they do most of the time. So as I wrote the first edition and then updated, I had a second edition. What I've done now is speak with people and observe in my study of human behavior and relationships and what happens. What is it that gets in the way from us being who we really want to be with each other? So the updated edition has some additional tools to enhance your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others so you can be the one more consistently.
So it's interesting that you say that, because I think you're absolutely right. Human nature is that we get excited when we think that the person or the one who's going to bring us something, we treat them as if they're, special, up on a pedestal. But like you said, the truth is, if you treated everyone in that way that they're somebody special just because they exist. The whole world could be different. So,
and right before you go there, I just want to say what you're talking about and what we're discussing here today is the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. Every religion has some aspect of this as a core way of being with each other. And again, we all really want to be this way. But the problem is that somebody betrayed us, somebody let us down, disappointed us, pissed us off, got us angry. When we look at the government and when we see what's happening, like we get so upset with other people that it blocks us from going beyond our differences to discover what it is that we all have in common. We all want to be loved, appreciated, know that we matter.
It's funny because you say that, and it is that trust factor. And like you said, we live in a world today where our differences are highlighted more than ever, and the things that we have in common have been kind of pushed back into the shadows. What I was going to ask you about, the one, is actually the philosophy that you actually have designed it so that if somebody were trying to remember what are the principles of the one philosophy, the one kind of outlines that. So can we go over that so people can get a good
Sure.
The one philosophy in a nutshell, so they can take this away and literally go out into the world today and start the practice?
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. That's my mission.
Good.
Because imagine a world where everywhere you go, people are treating each other as the one. Like, you and I may be standing in line at the supermarket together, Tammy, and I'm like, oh, hi, how are you? And then I listen to what you say. Or we go to a restaurant and the server's there, or you're with your family and you actually are listening and being fully present, not just thinking about all the things that you need to get done. This way of being will transform every aspect of your life and business. The clients that you are wanting to serve to grow your business, when you treat them as the one, they feel it. They come to you for more business. They refer their friends and family to you because they like the way that they're being treated. So the 6 principles of the one philosophy are designed to support you in being the one more consistently. So who do I need to be? Because this is where all control happens, right? I can't control what's going on in the outside world. I can only control this. So the 6 principles are about your way of being so that you can be the one for more people. And when you do, it unlocks this beautiful magic chest, a treasure chest of relationships and opportunities to move you forward and move them forward. So the 6 principles, you want me to just dive right in?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So principle number 1 is to talk less and listen more. And I mean, really, really listen. And it's fascinating that I'm a speaker, so I do talk a lot, but I also listen a lot, right? So it's about really listening when you're with someone to be fully present, not be focused on and in your head about what you're going to say next. So talk less and listen more. Be really attentive and present with people.
It's interesting because I read the one philosophy probably in 2016 is when I was first introduced to it. And I can honestly say that I do think that when I just did that one thing, talk less, listen more, that I resonated more with people when I would consult with them. So thank you for that, Nancy.
You're welcome. Yeah, people can tell. You can tell. And even if it's not that, somebody's distracted or on their phone, you can tell when someone's not really with you and fully present. And I got this lesson loud and clear from my daughter when she was a teenager. And well, the story's in the book, so get the book. And you'll
yes. And I want to remind everyone, here's the cool thing. At this recording, the book is available right now on Amazon, and you can go to Amazon and get the 3rd edition of The One Philosophy. So definitely go there, and I'll have the links in the show notes. So you can do that. Tell me more about H.
Okay, so what I've done is the 6 principles use the letters THEONE so that you can easily remember them. And the letter H is to hold and hone your vision. And this is really about you being the one to carry your purpose, your unique impact and gifts and skills and talents into the world. So holding and honing your vision, really expressing it, sharing it with others so that the people you're supposed to meet to move that vision forward, you're not meant to do it alone. Everything is about being and interacting and people helping people. So the letter H is to really get clear. What is your vision? What is it that you want to create in the world, both for yourself, your family, your community, and then the world at large? And that requires consistent attention to nurture it. Like, think of your vision as your baby. This is your baby. This is your responsibility. It's why you were put on this planet, to make your unique contribution. So it's really key to hold and hone your vision. And again, in the book, I give you some exercises and activities to help you bring that vision to life. Because once again, why did I do this 3rd edition and enhance it? Because I saw that people struggled to have faith in their visions, from disappointments, being let down, trying things, from people saying, oh, don't get your hopes up. Well, where do you want me to put my hopes?
Yeah.
Right down in the basement? I don't think so.
It's interesting because most of us have that experience within our own families. And often it's our mother who's saying, don't get your hopes up, stay calm, be grounded.
And they do it from love. They do.
Yes.
They don't want you to get hurt and feel disappointed. They're trying to protect you. So love them anyway, even when they say that. But
something about you also talking about holding and sharing the vision is you also are a co-founder of the Women's Prosperity Network, which gives people that group of like-minded individuals where you can go and have that support and share your vision in a safe place. And so I think that's important too, that not only are you the author of The One Philosophy and living the One Philosophy, you also are part of the Women's Prosperity Network, where you've brought together all of these women from around the world, along with your sisters, Trish and Susan, and all the other people who are helping to help people to, like you said, to hold and share the vision. And so the One Philosophy not only is, your baby, but it's part of this bigger system, this bigger mission, which I think is really helpful to people in the world who are really seeking to be the one and to understand this so that they can go out and not just try, that they can actually
really do it. Yeah. And thank you for mentioning about Women's Prosperity Network, because that's how you and I originally met. Was you came to one of our events, a conference we did. Was it 4 years ago or 5 now?
2016.
2000. So we're hitting on 5 years.
Yes.
And let's talk about what I mentioned earlier. Imagine a world where everywhere you go, people treat you as the one, that you're that important, you're that value. People see your value.
Yes.
Before you even open your mouth. Let's talk about transforming business cultures. Let's talk about transforming networking environments. mastermind programs, conferences. When you come to Women's Prosperity Network, what we hear over and over again from people who come for the first time, wow, I feel like I'm at home. The level of support, I don't get this other places. And then they come back a second or third time sometimes because like, oh, this can't be real. No, it's real because our culture is grounded in treating each other as the one and valuing people.
Well, that is absolutely true. And I am a walking, breathing testimony. For example, the Business of Speaking, which is my favorite program that Women's Prosperity Network has. I think I've done it 4 times.
At least.
Because I know I at least have a certificate. I'm very sure it says 4 times because I did it so often because it was of great value in helping me to become whoever I am supposed to be because I needed that support system. And I think that's one of the things about the one philosophy. And then again, the one, you talk about the exhibiting, how do you say it?
Exemplary, yes. Perhaps
behavior, which I
perhaps
what does that mean?
Yeah. So, and it's funny too, because I pause when I say that too. So the letter E, exhibit exemplary behavior. Yeah. So perhaps I should have picked a word that was easier to say, but hey, let's challenge ourselves.
It's always good to practice our challenging words.
So let's think about it. So you're being the one, treating each other with respect and value. And you also want to be the one that people can rely upon, find are trustworthy, have integrity, that they can count on you, that they know that your word is true. So exhibiting exemplary behavior, and the word exemplary means worthy of imitation, being a role model. So to be the one and really tap into this experience and this treasure chest that opens when you live the one philosophy, it's about knowing your values, owning them and living them, walking by them every single day. So if you think about the people, just, somebody that you really admire for who they are in the world, it's not the amount of money they make or the car they drive, it's who they are, both in the times of celebration as well as times of challenge. I think we've all heard quotes around, it's not who you are in the best of times, it's who you show up as in the most challenging of times that really defines your character. When push comes to shove, do you stand by your values? When you're pressed and you need to make money, are you selling anything just to make money? Or are you really standing by your values that what you offer to people is good and brings them value? It's knowing your values and living by them has you be respected as the one people will turn to. So again, you want more customers? Exhibit exemplary behavior, and you'll get the kind of customers that stay with you for life.
I think that's absolutely true because people can see through fake and they know if you're sincere, if you're real, if you're honest, and you might be able to fool somebody one time, but that's it. After one time, if you're not whoever it is you are, you're going to miss the boat on that. And then the O in one is that you say that you need to own your life with 100% responsibility. Expand on that.
So owning your life with 100% responsibility gives you control, it gives you power, and it gives you the ability to create the life that you would really love. Now, crap happens. There are fires. There are pandemics, apparently. There are all kinds of things, right? Hurricanes, all that stuff that happens that We may not be able to control what happens to us, but we can always control what happens within us, how we respond. And that is a process of emotional intelligence, as it's often referred to, having faith, learning to be responsible rather than reactive. So if you look at the word responsible, it's able to respond. And we've all been in situations where something bad has happened, something not good has occurred, and we blamed, or we got angry, or we thought it was this other person's fault. Well, being in those emotions doesn't move you forward to a solution. So again, in the book, I've enhanced this chapter to provide practical tools for you to better master your own emotions so that you can respond rather than react.
And that is a life lesson to most of us. I know I didn't. I never really understood what responsibility was until I actually did the Essence of Being, which I found out about through the Women's Prosperity Network and you. So it's very interesting how my life for the past 5 years has really been affected by you and your sisters and the Women's Prosperity Network and the One Philosophy. And I just want to remind everyone, again, you can go get the 3rd edition of the One Philosophy on Amazon. And I'm excited that you have expanded it and put more tools into it. And then never gossip. And that's interesting because I always, I like to say good things about people. I don't think that's gossip. So what is gossip?
So never gossip. So gossip is saying something disparaging, unkind about someone else. And I learned this lesson and really adopted it very strongly. Years ago, my daughter was making her first communion, and it was during Lent. And so we grew up Catholic. And so my daughter we were in that process. And the priest said, instead of giving up something, like chocolate or candy for Lent, I want you to give up something else. So he challenged us. And what I came up with was giving up that I would never say something about someone that I wasn't willing to say to their face. And that simple kind of guideline for me has made such a difference. So gossip is when you say something about would you look at her like, oh, she's a cow or whatever it is. Or can you believe they did this? Or if you watch any of the TV shows that are, backstabbing and people talking behind each other's backs, all of that stuff, like that does nothing to move us forward. And a couple of caveats here. There is a part of us as humans that takes pleasure in seeing other people suffer. There's a German word for it called Schadenfreude. So there is a part of us that gets, I don't know if pleasure is the right word or not, but we're like, wow, at least it's not me. It helps us feel better about ourselves and our circumstances. So I'm not judging anyone for going there because it's a response, and we're going to have you're going to get mad. You're going to get ticked off. You're going to have somebody hurt your feelings along the way. The key is, rather than getting stuck in that you have a way out and through, because all that is an emotional response. And then we can move on to the next level of what really matters. So never gossip, because let's think about it. If you're going to be the one and exhibit exemplary behavior, and if Tammy, you walked up to me and said, oh, did you hear about so-and-so who did this? And she's having an affair with so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. If you did that, and I know you wouldn't, so let me be very clear. I know that's not who you are, but I would be thinking, wow, I wonder what she says to me about says about me to other people. That's where I would be going. So if you gossip about someone, you're actually breaking trust in those relationships.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's funny because when people tell me things, I have the gift of forgetting most of what people tell me. So I'm lucky that way. And it's funny that you mentioned the TV shows because, most of those shows I don't watch, like The Bachelor, Housewives of, I've never seen. But if I've ever seen a preview, I notice that, that's what it's all about. It's all about the drama and about creating, havoc. And I really prefer to live my life as a drama, as low drama as possible. And I also think that E in the one actually helps with every single other principle. And that is to exercise your mind and spirit daily. Do you have any tools to help people to do that
Absolutely.
in the book?
Yep. Yeah. So principle number 6 is about preparing yourself, building your muscles to be able to respect others, get over hurt, to hold your vision, to be kind, like all of these things. So in principle 6, it's about what can we do on a daily basis to help us, because out there's all, you turn on the TV like we were just talking about, and your senses are assaulted. So we've got to protect ourselves. We've got to take our vitamins, and it's the vitamin of faith, of fortitude, of building and preparing ourselves to be in the world. So principle 6, I give you lots of different, I think there's 4 or 5 different activities that you can do. And the first, which I'm imagining your listeners have heard, you haven't started practicing it yet, do it now. It begins with gratitude, shifting to a feeling of gratitude and appreciation for what you do have, because as crappy as your life may be, and the difficulties you're going through, and I'm not minimizing anybody who's experiencing a challenge right now, I send you love, peace, and prayers to make it through to the other side. And I invite you to consider, if you can listen to this, you have a battery, you have electricity, you may have a computer, you may have a smartphone. You are better off than billions of people on this planet. Be appreciative of that. We can always find something to be grateful for. There was a Sufi, I believe it is, says, I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet.
Wow, that makes me just pause. And you're absolutely right, because like, for example, here I am. Yes, I'm not going any place. I'm not traveling a lot, but I am able to continue my work from home because I have electricity, I have a computer, I have internet access, and I know great people like you. So thanks so much. And I want to remind everybody, the 3rd edition, how cool is that? The 3rd, and I'll say expanded edition of The One Philosophy is available on Kindle. And I know if you actually go to theonephilosophy.com, there's a bunch of information there also about The One Philosophy. So go to Amazon, get a copy of the book, and make sure that when you read it, go back and leave a review about The One Philosophy. And I want to just say that because a lot of people don't realize that if you leave a review, it's not necessarily for Nancy, but it is a way for you to be the one and to help other people who may not be familiar with The One Philosophy and Nancy Matthews to learn about her, and they can read your review and say, oh, that's what that book is about. And you can, other people can read your review and they can click on it and this was helpful. So there's a lot of being the one that can happen when you go find the book, buy the book, read the book, and go back and leave that review about how it resonated with you. And many people, they don't realize that that's a wonderful circle of gratitude when you tell the world how much you appreciate all the time and effort and work that goes into creating these books. And all I'm sitting here imagining, Nancy, just the case studies alone, as you have been the one for thousands of people, and how thousands of people have gone out and then became the one. It just grows. So eventually the world will be a better place because of you. How cool is that?
Yay. And I'm just here to do my part. And my part is to co-create with each and every one of you a world where everyone treats each other as the one. That is how we're going to become united again. That is how love will win. And so, Tammy, thank you so much for mentioning that about leaving the reviews. That's how we're going to do it. That's one of the ways. So please leave that review. Share this with your friends, because imagine a world free of violence and prejudice and racism and poverty. Imagine that world, because that begins with you being the one to treat everyone you meet as the one.
Well, I'm going to let that be the final word, because everyone, you can be the one. And if you need help to find out, well, how do I become the one? Go to Amazon, look up the One Philosophy, and then you can take the first step to become the one. So Nancy, thank you so much.
My pleasure and my purpose. Thank you so much for having me, and all you do, Tammy, to bring leaders, innovators, and thought leaders to a bigger platform, because every single person you align with is here to make a positive contribution. So I honor you and the work you do and lifting all of us up.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.